Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Tibollo. I'm Ontario's Associate Attorney General. Before I begin, I wanted to start by noting what a privilege it was to be appointed as the Associate Attorney General for the province last month. I've enjoyed getting started on the work to improve our justice system, protect the people of Ontario from crime, and to ensure our communities are safe. And that's why I'm here this morning. We're here this morning. Our government has a plan to crack down on crime and hold offenders accountable. Now, you might be wondering why we chose to hold our announcement here at 222 Jarvis. Yes, this is an Ontario government building, even though I still remember it when it was the headquarters of Sears Canada. But more importantly, this is the home of Ontario's Cybersecurity Centre of Excellence. We're here today because cybercrime is on the rise throughout the province and throughout the country, and it's fueling major crime and gang-related activities. Now, when most people think about cybercrime, they think about hacking, ransomware, and data theft. But the reality is much darker. These criminals are involved in human trafficking, cyber currency payments that are extremely difficult to track, darknet marketplaces that facilitate the sales of illegal firearms and drugs, and digital child abuse. There are some real people involved behind a computer screen. Real harm is being done through cybercrime, and this is one of the actions that our government is taking into account. We know that there is more devastating impacts that crime has on people, and we need to address these issues. And our government understands this. Victims of crime and their families need to know that we're doing what we can to improve access to justice for everyone. To protect Ontario and keep our community safe, we need to put violent crimes, repeat offenders, behind bars. And so today we're announcing measures that put those committing crime on notice. Whether on the streets of the digital world, our government is doubling down on prosecution power to bring you justice. To speak more about this, I'm very pleased to welcome the Attorney General for the Province of Ontario, Doug Downey.
Thank you so much, Minister Tibollo. And as mentioned, I'm Doug Downey, Ontario's Attorney General, for your producers, spelled D-O-W-N-E-Y. Before I begin, I want to thank Associate Attorney General Michael Tibollo for being here with me. And, you know, since his appointment last month, I've been relying very heavily on his previous experience, which is so well suited for many of the things that we need to tackle. He has a very impressive background, and I look forward to continuing to work with you. Today, I'm proud to share the latest measures in our government's plan to strengthen the justice system, protect our communities, and keep repeat and violent offenders behind bars. Later this week, I will be introducing legislation with a number of practical measures to keep our communities and streets safe. It's the next step in our plan. As many of you know, the pressure on our courts continues to grow. Revolving door bail policies from the federal government have led to violent crimes in our communities. With the federal election today, we hope whoever wins heeds our calls for tough on crime action that puts an end to these policies. Our police are working hard to investigate and arrest those who break laws. It's a critical part of keeping our communities safe. But more must be done to keep these violent, repeat offenders off our streets. As part of our government's commitment to crack down on crime, I'm announcing important new tough on crime measures to help strengthen our justice system. To start, we're proposing new changes to the Courts of Justice Act to streamline judicial appointments processes and speed up the appointment of judges to the Ontario Court of Justice. These changes will support our goal of providing swift access to justice for victims of crime and help them avoid the grief and anxiety that come with delays. Any way we can help address backlogs and delays in the Ontario Court of Justice is a better day for victims and their families. As you may recall, last year, our government made history by significantly increasing court capacity at the Ontario Court of Justice with a $29 million investment to add at least 25 net new judges. Well, today, I'm pleased to announce we're building on this investment by adding 17 additional Ontario Court of Justice judges. These measures build on the historic progress in reducing and resolving cases before the courts, and it's all part of our plan to increase capacity. In addition to these changes, the province is expanding its dedicated guns and gangs in targeted regions of the province. We'll bolster our border security by addressing the impact of illegal firearms in Canada. These units have expert prosecutors that work with provincial and municipal forces, police forces, to tackle the changing nature of gang activity, to identify and disrupt gang members, and deter young people from getting involved. The expansion will build on the excellent work that these units have already been doing in Ontario. They've led the investigation of 34 major projects, leading to hundreds of arrests. As part of their work, they've also seized $5.5 million in property and cash. Disrupting gang activity is crucial to cracking down on crime in neighbourhoods throughout the province. Since 2018, Ontario has invested $256 million under the Guns, Gangs and Violence Reduction Strategy in coordination with the federal government. This is all part of our plan to protect Ontario from the violent gang members who threaten our people with illegally obtained firearms. We're also, as Minister Tibollo mentioned, enhancing protection from cybercrime, which has exploded in this province. We're creating the first cryptocurrency and crime prosecution team in Canadian history right here in Ontario. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, we are leading the charge across the nation, expanding the efforts and taking meaningful steps to protect Ontario. This cybercrime team will work directly with Ontario Police Services, federal, provincial, and municipal levels. The collaboration will be essential. Team members provide advice to police at the investigative stage to make sure cases are managed and prosecuted effectively. This is a crucial part of the system because cybercrime cases tend to be large and complex. Once charges are laid and cases move into the justice system, Crown attorneys, the cybercrime team, and the police involved with these files make sure they are prosecuted fairly and effectively. Before I finish, I just want to leave you with an important message. Our government's ongoing commitment to protecting Ontario and keeping communities safe is unwavering. We're making historic changes that would improve capacity and efficiency in the court system, introducing stronger measures to hold offenders accountable, and helping stop criminal activity online and in our streets. These tough-on-crime measures are putting violent repeat offenders on notice. If you commit a crime in Ontario, we will do everything in our power to find you, prosecute you, and put you behind bars. And for victims of crime and their families, I want to reiterate, we are laser-focused on getting you justice. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.
We'll now open the floor for questions. Reminder, the format is one question, one follow-up.
Lovely. Good morning, ministers. Minister Downey, my questions are for you.
Okay.
I am just wondering, in light of the fact that there's been a few lobbyists over the last few weeks who have been found to have broken the Lobbyist Registration Act in ways that, and with penalties that, many have seemed displeased with. So now that we're approaching 2 years since you had said that you plan to initiate the parliamentary review of that act within a few weeks, just wondering if you are able to commit today to initiating that within the spring sitting.
I thank you for the question, and I can tell you that after our vigorous job review that we just went through in February, we're back on the job. I've received, just before the election, further input from the Integrity Commissioner, and so I will review that, and I expect to have a path forward for you shortly.
Okay, and because any MPP can initiate this review, if one from the opposition were to do that this spring, is that something that you would be favorable towards?
You know me, I don't do hypotheticals. We'll deal with what comes.
That concludes this announcement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.